Good day, I am Wendy, and this evening I'm going to speak to you about my teaching philosophy and more particularly the Teaching Perspective Inventory, also known as TPI. Oftentimes, teachers at all levels are required to reflect on their teaching practice and approaches. They're required to do this when they attend a workshop or just to evaluate lessons. According to Pratt and Associates 1998, teaching perspective is defined as what teachers do and why we think such actions are worthy and justified. Furthermore, they claim that each perspective on teaching is a complex web of actions, intentions, and beliefs. Each in turn creates its own criteria for judging or evaluating right and wrong, true and false, effective and ineffective. Perspectives determine our roles and idealized self-images as teachers, as well as the basis for reflecting on practice. And this was said by Pratt and Associates, 1998, page 35. The Teaching Perspective Inventory, TPI, identifies which of five teaching perspectives: transmission, apprenticeship, developmental, nurturing, and social reform is a teacher's dominant or codominant perspective, and what backup perspective the teacher might possess. Moreover, the subcategories are quite valuable in identifying states of internal consistency or internal discrepancies within a perspective. Internal consistency are the beliefs, intentions, and actions all align. This scores within 1 or 2 points of each other. Internal discrepancies within a perspective where beliefs, intentions, and actions do not align since there is a difference of 3 or more points in the scores. According to the TPI, I scored 33 on social reform, 39 on transmission and developmental, and 40 on nurturing. My results favor apprenticeship at 41 points. This indicates that my dominant teaching perspective for this inventory is apprenticeship, with my codominant perspective being nurturing. My beliefs, intentions, and actions seem to align with each other since they score within 1 or 2 points of each other. So, what does this tell me and you about my teaching perspective and my style as a teacher? As my scores suggest, my teaching perspective is balanced, each category being tempered by factors such as situational context, student needs, and students being taught. While I score slightly higher on apprenticeship as opposed to other categories, there are moments where I tap into each other teaching perspectives in order to meet specific needs. Reflecting on my experience as an educator, I do find that sometimes I switch between different frames of teaching with relative ease. From an apprenticeship perspective, effective instruction assumes that teachers are experienced and qualified instructors, experts in their field, and are highly skilled. When the apprenticeship is the dominant perspective, it suggests that teachers are devoted to having students learn what needs to be learned by observing them in action. In this perspective, teachers are of the belief, in a rather passionate way, that the teaching and learning process can be highly effective when people engage in authentic tasks in actual application settings. Apprenticeship teachers believe that effective teaching involves mentoring, guiding, coaching, and socializing learners into a community of practice. Immersing students into genuine practice provides motivation to learn. Students are encouraged by the relevance of being able to legitimately contribute and play a valued role within the community. Simply, the teaching and learning is oftentimes a combination of observation, demonstration, and guided practice, with students showing mastery gradually. As I reflect on the definitions of this perspective, I see how it fits with my philosophy of teaching. It is my view that the concept of authentic assessment and the constructivist theory are key. This is in keeping with the view of Oligoson 2015, who postulates that the constructivist approach to instruction is based on the principle that learning results from mental construction. He suggests that learning takes place when students put new information and what they already know together. The nurturing perspective supports the view that the aim of effective teaching is to respect students' efficacy and self-concept. I am holding nurturing as codominant perspective, which proposes that I care deeply about my students and how they think and reason, and I work assiduously to facilitate their effort as well as their achievement. This also suggests that as a teacher, I am committed to the holistic development of my students and not just their intellect. It is my belief that anything that threatens the students' concept of self interferes with their development and learning. Therefore, in this perspective, the teacher's intention is to strike a balance between challenging students to reach their maximum potential while offering support that will ultimately nurture their efforts to be a success. Thus, our curriculum must incorporate strategies to help students establish this teacher-learner relationship, provide effective feedback, and develop a balance between challenging and supporting the student. Interestingly, my beliefs scored lower than my intentions and higher than my actions for this perspective. It is pleasing to note that my intentions and actions were aligned, as this perspective is something I actually value as a learner and always seek to provide for my students. Of note is the fact that in the apprenticeship and nurturing perspectives, my intention score is 15, which is the highest when compared to other perspectives. Though the social reform perspectives indicates that it is recessive for me, the results of my beliefs, intentions, and actions align with each other, and this is noteworthy. Research continues to point to the positive impact that ICT has on students' learning and on teachers' professional development, which are in keeping with the 21st century educational demands. Several forms of ICT implementation in the field of education afford the opportunities for flexible and up-to-date learning, along with the reinforcing teachers' ability to reflect on their practice and collaborate with each other. Lawless and Pellegrino, 2007. Simply, ICT can help to support students' learning in a nurturing environment. My beliefs and intentions are to be nurturing to students, even though my actions could have demonstrated this to a higher degree. It still aligns, and there is not a discrepancy. This can be due to the fact that though I totally believe in providing a supportive and nurturing environment, it still aligns. However, I strongly believe that there is a certain level that all students must achieve through constructivism. The use of Blackboard Collaborate has the capacity to help students achieve through constructivism, since it encourages students to become involved in e-learning platforms such as virtual classrooms, discussion forums, completing assignments, and receiving feedback, both from teachers and fellow students. Hence, Maslany 2013 notes that instruction through the use of Blackboard Collaborate is based on sound pedagogical principles and lends itself to the student-centered constructivist theory of learning. Taking the TPI provided me with a great opportunity to reflect on what I believe, feel, and do in regards to teaching and learning. This has helped me to reassess my TPI and where it is in regards to my teaching philosophy. Thank you.